A lot of retro bands have released albums this year. A lot of artists from retro bands have put out albums this year. Solo. Is this a case of nostalgia, or is this just a good, heavy, hard rock, melodic rock AOR album? Next on Heels and Quads.
Heels and Quads Media, the place for metal race. With Tommy and Levi, I'm taking full control. Screaming vocals, thunderous bass, and crushing beats. Heels and Quads Media, where the metal scene.
Welcome back, Heels and Quads Media here on YouTube. I am Tommy, and I'm back with another album review, another new album review for the year 2024. This album was released yesterday, Friday, May 10th, 2024, 3 days before my birthday. And when my wife asked me, "What do you want for your birthday, Tommy?" I said, well, there's only one record that is coming out, and it's up for pre-order, and I sent her a link, and she ordered me Sebastian Bach's new album, Child Within the Man. Now, I have been a Sebastian Bach fan for as long as I can remember. Since, obviously Skid Row, I did a kind of like an album summary of the first Skid Row album, the debut Skid Row album, with its anniversary being this year. And I was so happy to know that Sebastian was coming out with a new record with everything that's been going on in the Skid Row world. And we got 3 singles and videos, and I wanted to do those individually, but knowing that a new album was coming, unlike the kind of up in the air what's Richie Sambora from Bon Jovi doing with releasing singles every week for the last few weeks, and I'm going to wait and do those next week after the 4th and final single comes out. Because I have a feeling it's just going to end up being like this. At some point, digital, it'll be just one EP type thing. I don't think right now we're going to get a full album. But I digress. Back to Sebastian Bach. He's on tour right now. Just did his first US date last night, I believe. Day of the release of the record. And I shared it on Instagram, and Sebastian actually responded by sharing it in his stories on Instagram. And I said, it sounds great at 45 RPMs, because the cool thing about this is it's an 11-song album, and they pressed it at 45 RPMs, which typically, a full album at 33. I'll start by saying this, on vinyl, and I've listened to it twice on vinyl, and probably 4 times all the way through on Apple Music. On vinyl, this thing just absolutely crushes any album that's came out in the last year or so on vinyl. I mean, the sound quality, the production. Michael Elvis Basquet did a phenomenal job producing and mixing this album, and everything just blends perfectly together. From Sebastian's vocals to the guitars, Todd Kearns on bass, Devin Bronson on guitar, Jeremy Colson on drums. This album, front to back, and of course there's guest stars. John Five is on lead guitar for Freedom. Orianthi is on lead guitar and co-wrote Future of Youth. And Steve Stevens is on FU playing lead guitar, co-write with Sebastian. And obviously John Five co-wrote as well. And just overall, the production value, the sound, you go in thinking, is this going to be another, we'll call it legacy artist, putting out something, trying to grasp onto the past? And this album, I mean, it's not dated at all. Sebastian's vocals are as good as ever. And I think there's times when people from their phones put out a live video, and I don't think people understand that the quality gets compressed so much, and you're not getting the full effect. Like, if you're there live, it sounds so much better than it does from a video that was done on your phone. And that's the same case with like a band that puts out a DVD or Blu-ray or whatever. The soundboard recording that you're getting through the audio there on that video is so much different than what you would hear on a fan recorded video that's on YouTube. Because even YouTube compresses these videos down so much that I've even had trouble with audio as far as it sounds great when I hear it here, and I got a comment on one of my videos a couple of days ago about how quiet it sounded, when even on my phone or on my TV it sounds great, but maybe I just have the volume up more. So if you can't hear it, turn up the volume. But also, while you're here, like this video, subscribe, comment down below, tell me what you think about the new Sebastian Bach album. Did you get the vinyl release or the CD release, or have you just streamed it? The singles, we got videos to all those. I thought all of those were fantastic, and I just felt like I kind of wanted to wait till the album came out to give a full review, because I could do it song by song, but it's not as... I'm an album person. I'm not seeking out just singles. I think that is what separates a true music fan from just a casual fan. And that's the biggest takeaway from this album, is listening to it. You can tell that Sebastian Bach is a student of the game. He knows what he's doing. He's had success. And this album, I hope that enough people will catch on to it and feel the passion that Sebastian sings with and has written these songs with, because it's coming from a retrospective point of view, I think, on some, but also it's coming from a personal perspective. It's not necessarily everything that's happened. It's things that are happening now. He's singing about things that the future holds, the way that he views the world as a whole. And I just find it just to be, it's from the first track to the final track, it's got this very, it's said that Frontiers Records is an AOR, that's what they focus on, album oriented recordings. And you can tell that here, because like I said, there's a flow to it. Everything meshes together. It blends together well. It's not all over the place where you're going to get a hard rocker and then 6 ballads and then a hard rocker and then, an instrumental to close. It's heavy all the way through. It's kind of dark, tons of melodic rock. But the chugging guitars, the drums and the bass, the rhythm section blends well together. Nothing in this album is overpowering, and that's hard to even fathom, considering that it's Sebastian Bach that's singing, but he has such control of his voice that it just kind of blends in just perfectly. And it's, like I said, it's mixed and produced fantastic. And I loved Ace Frehley's 10,000 Volts, and I know a lot of people, it's overproduced or whatever. This is not overproduced. This is perfection. This is by far my favorite album so far of 2024. And I bought Ace's album. We did a review on Bruce Dickinson's album. I did a review on Judas Priest's record, and I loved that too. But everything kind of tended to have like bits of nostalgia, and this doesn't. It just doesn't feel. Nothing on it feels dated, if that makes any sense. Like, Sebastian's always gonna sound like the voice of Skid Row, because let's face it, he is. And all the crap about the social media unfollowings and stuff, I'm not even going to talk about that. But this album makes me just, like, I still just don't get it. I understand that Sebastian Bach can probably be a handful, and I'd love to talk to Sebastian on the channel and get his feelings on everything, or just hang out and chat about music overall, because I think he, like I said, a student of the game. He's a fan first, and this album shows me that he put the fans first. He knows that albums don't sell like they used to, but if you are a fan of Sebastian Bach or hard rock or progressive rock or even metal, pick this up. Stream it if you have to first. decide if you want to get it, if you think you're going to listen to it more than once. But I'm telling you right now, I've listened to it, like I said, twice on vinyl and then multiple times streaming, and I cannot say enough good things about it. I think it is just bar none the best album so far of 2024. I've still got Bon Jovi coming out next month, and I don't think it's going to even touch this as far as giving me what I really want as a fan of an artist. And you can disagree with me. Let me know in the comments if you disagree. Like this video, subscribe, of course. But I'll show you the vinyl. It's already, I left this cellophane on it. I like to keep everything clean. I know some people say it shrinks the covers, but whatever. Here's the back. Of course, the cover done by his father, his late father. I love that Sebastian always includes his dad's artwork in it. I think that's awesome. There's the back. And then on the sticker here, this is one question that I have, and I'm sure Sebastian probably watches reviews like I would on YouTube. And Sebastian, if you see this, maybe you can answer it. Or Michael Basquette, if you see this, maybe you can... Or somebody from RPM Records. Somebody let me know what's going on, because when you pre-order the vinyl, or now buy it on RPM's website, it says that the Glow in the Dark is limited to 500 copies. But if you see down here, it says limited to 300. So I want to know, is it actually limited to 500? Is it actually limited to 300? Is it actually limited at all? Because there's bundles, and I saw that just the regular black vinyl was sold out. And that's fine, because I like, every once in a while, I'm not one of those ones really that think that colored vinyl sounds worse than just the classic black vinyl. I don't really notice that big of a difference. I think it's a lot of what you use to clean your albums with, maybe, or maybe it's your player. I know a lot of people, and I have one too, the Crosley the Rode cases. I personally don't think they sound all that great. If I'm gonna listen to that, it's gonna be an older, like an original pressing from an older record, because the 180 grams just don't sit right on that for some reason. And it comes with the insert with the lyrics, let you know who played what on what. Love that. Always a fan of lyrics in my album inserts. And then you get this is side 3 and 4, I believe. No, side 1 and 2. And then I will take this out. Yes, I'm touching it. Yes, I will clean it again. But Sebastian from the painting on side A. Side B is the side of the car. And as a kid. And this is the Glow in the Dark vinyl. There's some more like indie pressings. I think you are also available on the website. Or they give you links to the website to get those on. I want to say there was like a pink or something variant. And then here, C and D. And there you can see maybe if it'll produced, mastered, all that stuff. There's the other side of his dad doing the art, which I think that is awesome. And there's side 3 or C. D's got a little something, speck of something on it. Anyways, I'll take care of that here in a minute. There's that. And also, like, these albums right now, I'm just putting it back in the sleeve because I don't have all my other stuff good to go, and I'm going to clean them again and probably play them again. But I wish record companies would take into account the fact that these albums, when you seal them and you shrink them, like when you put them in these inserts, like the records stick. So I feel like later on, if you picked up an 180 gram pressing, sometimes like the sound is just completely off because it feels like that paper's been stuck to it for so long. Anyways, so again, subscribe, like this video if you like it. But if you do, that would be awesome if you hit the like button if you watched it all the way through, because it really helps the channel. We appreciate it. We're moving ahead. We're closing in on 2,000 subscribers, so your subscription helps. Every subscription to the channel helps. Comment down below. I want to know what you think about Sebastian Bach's new album. And are you going to see him on this tour? That's the biggest bummer to me, because he's in Arkansas next month, and I'm not going to get to go because of work. So hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. Hopefully you found it to be refreshing like I did. It feels like it's for the fans as much as it is for Sebastian, because he is a fan, like I said. Anyways, till next time, tell your friends, tell your enemies, and I'll see you next time.